Just a quick little photograph here. This was a photograph I took in February 2nd. It's not a sunset, it's actually a sunrise. I took that at 7 a.m. And that is a picture of the mountains around Cook Mountain. And in February, that was before our program, and I thought, well, this is going to be a good year for us. And in the end, I think the year was far better than I had expected. It was an operationally difficult year, but we had a lot of good success. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about that. And in this presentation, I'll talk about our exploration strategy, the district itself as a gold producer, and then I'll touch on our two main projects, Lamefoot, one of which we have a new discovery this year. Okay, so one of our main strategies is looking for high grade. We're not looking for large bulk mineable tonnage. We're looking for high grade. One of the things we do is we pick areas that are close to other mines that have mined high grade. You've heard the old saying, the best place to look for a mine is in the shadows of the head frame. Well, we do exactly that. And it essentially puts us in as a brownfields explorer, which has certain benefits, but it also puts you into a project that has definitely been explored. So when we get onto these areas, we need to have either a different geological model or new tools that other people haven't used or resolution, and or all of the above. And what we're really trying to do here is find something that somebody else has missed in the past. These strategies have worked really well for us. As I go through these projects, you'll see exactly how effective that's been. Okay, where are we located? We're in Washington State, just below the Canadian-US border, just below Soyuz. It takes about 5.5 hours to drive there. And the area is well known for gold. It's what's called the Boundary District, where there's been about 17 million ounces of gold mined. Immediately around Republic, there's been about 8 million ounces mined, average grade of about 14 to 15 grams per ton. So that's the reason why we're there. We love the high grade potential. These are our projects everywhere from Republic all the way up to the US-Canadian border. You can see our projects are the stars, and they're always close to other mining operations. What's great about that is it gives us a lot of infrastructure, so we have good road access into these different areas, but also we have access to a mill. There's a mill in the district. It's under care and maintenance. It's owned by Kinross, and they currently don't have any feed. So the way I look at it is, if we can deliver something to that, that's a good thing for us. Let's talk about our two projects, Buckhorn and Lamefoot. We'll start with Buckhorn. Now, Buckhorn project is shown in red. It surrounds that gray area in the center. That is held by Kinross. The red star is the Buckhorn mine. That was mined by Kinross from 2008 to 2017. They produced 1.3 million ounces of gold at an average grade of 13 grams per ton. We really like these types of things. We don't think there's one in the district. We think these things tend to occur in clusters. Now, when Kinross was actively mining this area, they had a very extensive data set. They developed targets. They had difficulties getting permits. I think they got frustrated with the process, dropped the ground, and walked away. We came in, picked up the ground, approached Kinross, acquired the data from them. It's probably worth about $12 to $15 million. It put us years ahead of in targeting, and we started to develop our targets along with the data that we had collected. And this year, we finally started getting some of these permits coming in. So some of the drilling we did this year, VTEM-15 is a good example. We got 69 meters of sulfides in a drill hole. SP1, 40 meters, a 40-meter section of sulfides. And VTEM-1, we hit a number of interesting areas. The one in the middle, 23 meters, I think is really a juicy-looking rock, and that's something that we'll have assays for. VTEM-7, I don't have anything there just yet. We're still getting through that, but soon to come with that. So at Buckhorn, we've got assays pending on a number of zones that carry sulfides. Sulfides are very important, obviously. The assays will tell us if we have gold or not, but just hitting sulfides is really important because the Buckhorn mine, the gold in the Buckhorn mine is associated with sulfides. Without the sulfides, you don't have much of a chance. So it's calibrated our exploration. We've got assays coming, and what we're doing here works. We're able to deliver sulfides. And I think that's really important because we do have a lot of targets to get through. We've got more than 30 more targets, and we understand the permitting process here, and we understand our targeting. Let's take a look at Lamefoot. Lamefoot is where we had a recent discovery. We had a drill hole this summer that we intersected 4.5 meters of 10.5 grams per ton. Again, we like to work around past producers. Here's an example of how effective that can be. The new discovery is 500 meters from the Lamefoot mine. That mine had call it 1 million ounces of 8 to 10 grams per ton gold. We're really close, 500 meters. You can't make that kind of stuff up. Not only are we close to the Lamefoot mine, but we're also quite close to the mill. So the mill in a straight line is about 6 kilometers away. But by road, you're looking at 11-kilometer existing road access to that mill. Here's a picture of the core. The real takeaway here is when you have an increase in sulfides, metallic sulfides, we get an increase in gold. And I really think that's really great for us. It's the first time we've been able to see something that correlates. It's making for a very good exploration target for us. If I can take your attention to the table, you can see the last two intervals. You're looking at 14.3 grams per ton over a meter, 21 grams per ton. These are the kind of numbers we like. A conventional mineable width is 2 meters. We've got 2.3 meters of 17.5 grams per ton. So this is new to us. It's starting to work. We've only put 3 drill holes into this target. They're quite closely spaced. We have a lot of work to do to define this. But as we drill, of those 3 holes, they all hit, and as we move to the north, northwest, and at depth, we see an increase in the grade and the width. And what we expect we've got here is a lens that has a very steep plunge, like what you'd see in that modeled section to the right, something plunging off to the northwest. And we have a number of targets on this project. So once we start to get a handle on the orientation of that mineralization, we're going to look at how we'll look at bringing some of these other targets in and testing them to see if we have similar mineralization. Here's a good example of the geology. The blue is limestone. The purple is a clastic rock. We found mineralization along the contact between the limestone and the clastic rock. Well, the Lamefoot mine, which is just to the northwest, by 500 meters, is also along that very same contact. Now, what that means to us when we have the limestone on either side flanking that sedimentary unit, we've got a lot of that contact. We've got the limestone clastic contact on the west, but also on the east, giving us a lot of strike length. And the fact that we've got this type of geology, we think that we've got a fold. And if that is Lamefoot on the western limb, then this new discovery is on the eastern limb. And the important thing is not only do we have strike length in a lateral sense, but down dip extension, we're seeing that we've got a lot of room to develop tonnage. Looking at this area in this black box, that's the geophysics. This is SP. Here's a really good example of how effective SP can be for you. That is the Lamefoot South discovery. It sits in that area. You can see, I don't know if you can see it with the, you can see it's a bit dark, but you get gold in the soils up to about 400 ppb. I've also marked in here the contact between the limestone and clastics in both of these areas. So those are your 2 fold limbs on the east and west, but you've got a number of very nice looking targets to further test along that trend, and that's where you would look. Here's a real doozy. This is a really nice geophysical anomaly, but with very strong gold support, up to 0.5 gram of gold in the soils. So that's something that will be tested relatively soon. So we've got a new discovery here. We need to understand the orientation. The drill is moving on there shortly, within the next couple of days. We understand our target, and we understand what we need to do to find that. That photograph is from today, this morning. We've had such a nice fall, and we just got hit with a lot of snow. Luckily, we're just pulling the drill off of Buckhorn, moving it down to the Lamefoot area. Lamefoot's only 3,000 feet, so it's much lower elevation, not 5,500. We have a strategy that's been very effective for us. We're able to find, we've made a discovery, we're able to find more mineralization. We've got results pending on Buckhorn and more drilling to come on the Lamefoot South. We're currently trading at 8 cents, and you know, if there's a way to make lemonade of that, this is certainly it. 8 cents. I think this is not a great market. If this was a better market, I would expect that we'd be trading higher with these new results. I think it's a good time to accumulate. If you like the story and you like what we're doing, it's a good time to accumulate and look at where this might go. We've got assays pending and more drilling to come this year. So thank you very much.
Thank you.